Tom Brady, New England Patriots. We're 1 week away from Tom Brady being allowed to officially entertain offers from other teams. We are 9 days away from him being able to sign with another team. Charlie Weiss, who was an assistant coach in New England when Tom Brady arrived, he said last week on SiriusXM NFL Radio he has been texting with Tom, and he shared the outcome of the text exchange that he was able to share because I guess there was some language in there that he couldn't repeat. I don't usually pass along these conversations, Weiss said, but one thing Tom told me, nobody knows anything, so anyone who is telling you they know, they don't know. And look, that's a fair observation from Charlie Weiss and Tom Brady. But, Chris, it got me to thinking, nobody is saying they know. That's why it's a story nobody knows. There's nobody out there saying, I know where Tom Brady's going to go. We're all guessing and speculating because they've given us nothing that we can wrap our arms around a week before he's able to officially start taking offers from other teams.
No, well, you're right. They've given us nothing, but we've got inklings. I mean, hey, first off, I mean, we do know something. I mean, we you know, I do feel like we saw Mike Vrabel being FaceTimed on the front row, during free agency when he was with Julian Edelman and Jimmy Fallon. I mean, I don't think that was like totally an accident. I don't think it was like, hey, let's call good old Mikey and see what's going on. I mean, that was either planned or drummed up to get interest going with free agency, drive the conversation, whatever it may be. Or maybe it was, hey, I talked to Vrabel last night and we were talking about me going to the Titans. Let me check in with him today and see how things are going. I don't know. So yes, we don't know, but we have inklings, and we have nobody dispelling some of the very crucial rumors we're hearing out there right now. One Tennessee, but come on, the 49ers thing, I mean, it reeks of realness. It reeks of it. We have some of our most important NFL insiders have gone dark on the biggest subject in football right now. And that's a clue to me right there.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
Because I tried to explain that to Big Cat on Friday. He's got this weird theory that the 49ers are using this uncertainty to squeeze Jimmy Garoppolo to redo his deal. I mean, that's not how you treat your franchise quarterback. You don't play those kind of games with Jimmy Garoppolo. And if you feel like you need to squeeze him because maybe he's not living up to his contract, that's all the more reason to go after Tom Brady.
You're right. You're right.
I'm
if you're
glad,
squeezing him, yeah, go ahead.
There's a problem. If you're squeezing him, there's a problem.
Yes.
And there's a way to fix the problem this year because there's an unprecedented number of free agent quarterbacks available. That's why I wasn't buying his logic, and I tend to agree with you. The fact that Shefty hasn't said boo when he's got a foot in every camp out there,
right,
and he hasn't knocked it down or built it up or said anything about it. He's on complete lockdown over it. That tells you there's something going on.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's and I know you and I texted about this over the weekend a little bit, but to me, that's one of the number one clues out there that something is real and substantial between Brady and the 49ers. I mean, Adam Schefter went to Michigan. He's kind of always on the forefront of Brady news, right? There's a connection there. He also wrote a
connection
book.
to Don Yee.
Yes.
Connection to Don Yee.
Connection to Don Yee. Connection to Mike Shanahan. Help him write a book. So there's just...
And a bike.
And a bike. Might have taught him how to ride the bike, too.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Shefty, help me ride a bike here.
And we'll do the book in the meantime and in between. But, yes, to me, that's a clue where I've said that to a number of my friends to go, oh, you don't think it's real? Then the fact that the number one insider gossip guy in football has gone crickets on the subject is more of a sign than anything to me that it is real, and he's hamstrung, or a guy like Schefter and other insiders, because they can't say anything because they know the truth from both sides, so they're not saying anything, and that's what it kind of tells me, at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. And as I said last week, there's an easy way for the 49ers to knock all this down. They just need to come out and say, there's three different ways you do it. One, issue a statement saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is our guy and any talk of any other quarterback coming here instead of Garoppolo is fake news. Two, put Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch on the radio, Bay Area or nationally, to say the same thing. Or three, start telling the players. Start telling them, because if you tell them, it's going to get to the media that the 49ers brass are informing players that they're not going to pursue Tom Brady. One or more of those options is the way to kill this. And here we are a week into this chatter, and the 49ers have done, have said, have tried nothing to knock it down, which tells me that either they're clueless from a PR standpoint, which they're not, or that there's something to it,
Right.
which is what I tend to believe.
I agree, too. Yeah, the fact that they've gone crickets or made no defining statement about it, to me, makes me think that there's something there. It's being thought about, whatever it may be. And then even on the other side of that, you could also argue the same type of thing with Brady, right? I mean, we know he's got a friendship with Jimmy Garoppolo. They work together. We saw them at the Kentucky Derby last year on NBC, all those things. You know, you would think if that was out there, right, and you were a guy like Tom Brady and you're like, damn, it looks like people are trying to say I'm stealing my friend's job across the country. You know, if that weren't true, I feel like, I don't know. I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes.
You're right.
I would come out and
mad.
be like,
he'd be indignant.
Right. I would be coming out like, no, I'm not trying. No, that's not real. I'm not trying to go to the 49ers. That's not a real thing. And we're not hearing that either. So those are all things that, again, not that we know, but you and I do this a lot, and we read a lot, and we know some things, and we connect dots. And this is how dots work in the NFL. And to me, the things that are not being said are the biggest clues right now in this story.
Yeah. I can't believe anyone would suggest that I'm thinking about trying to take my good friend's job.
Right.
That's all you got to say.
Exactly.
If it's not true.
Right.
Yeah. That's what he could have texted to Charlie Weiss. Not nobody knows anything. Hey, Charlie, I can't believe people think I'd actually try to take Jimmy Garoppolo's job.
Right.
That's all you got to say.
That's right.
And it's done. And it's over. Now, from Brady's perspective, there's value in this vague notion that teams are interested because he's trying to shake the tree and see who all is going to show up.
Sure.
And the one guy that's going to show up at some point is Bill Belichick. Tom Curran wrote over the weekend. Obviously, he covers the Patriots for our colleagues at NBC Sports Boston. Tom Curran said that when it comes down to it, it's Belichick's call. Robert Kraft, the owner of the team, is not going to intervene if there's a significant gap between what the Patriots are putting on the table and what Tom Brady would want. And look, I get that because, hey, Belichick's got to want the guy. And that's the one thing that we never talk about in this overall analysis and situation. What does Bill want? He's not going to tell us.
Right.
But between him and Josh McDaniels, they know better than anyone whether or not Tom Brady is playing at the level that they deem acceptable. Is he making good decisions? Is he staying in the pocket long enough? Is he moving in the pocket like he used to?
Yeah.
How's he going through his progressions? Is he running our offense the way he always has? Is he as good as he's been? Is he better? Is he worse? They know. And they're going to lose him at some point in the next few years. For them, this may be the best opportunity to rip the Band-Aid off in one motion and get somebody else. So what Bill wants is a huge factor in this.
Yeah, sure.
And I feel like we're not paying enough attention to that angle.
No, I think you're right. I mean, Bill, as we know, and Josh McDaniels, first off, always have master plans, especially Bill. And, I don't think anything he does is not done without hours and hours of thinking it out, talking to people that he trusts within that building, whoever that may be, and figuring these situations out. And yeah, I don't think it's like totally, no, I don't want Brady back. I think the big question is, hey, I'll have you back, Tom, but I'm not paying you $30 or $35 million. And that, to me, is the other big question, Mike. Like, what's that number that the gap is not too big, right? Let's just say Tennessee or San Francisco are offering Brady, $25 million a year. Does he go back to New England for 20? Or is that 5 really enough for him to say, nah, I'm leaving town and I feel disrespected or whatever that may be? That's to me going to be the interesting thing here. And hopefully we'll get an inkling through, the media or people in the know as far as how far off they are there and what New England's really willing to pay.
And it's not the dollars as much as it's the message that comes from the dollars, right? You're making the guy an offer he's going to refuse. It's an offer that is just respectful enough, but there's a message in there. And that's the challenge. Now, if Bill Belichick even cares about this, think about how fascinating this is. You want to put a number on the table that if it gets out there, some will say, Tom should have taken it.
Yeah.
But it can't be so much that he says, I'll take it. And here's the thing. Even though Bill Belichick has got to be very difficult to read, Tom Brady's been reading him for 20 years.
True.
I think Tom's going to know if Bill's really into the idea of continuing the relationship or not. And at some point, Tom may say, hey, Bill, look, I'm going to be direct with you. Do you want me here, yes or no? And he's going to know within 10 seconds after finishing that question what Bill Belichick wants, because he's going to be able to read the reaction. Even though Bill's always the same, he's going to be able to read it. If Bill says, why do you think that? Of course I want you.
Yeah.
He wants him.
Right.
If he says,
Right. Then
See
you
later.
know, okay, yep, he doesn't really want me. He'll take me back, but he has other things in his plans, or other visions of his future, what it looks like at the quarterback position. You're right. I mean, that's what we're going to find out. Hopefully, that's what's going to be fun about this last week here, and hopefully we start to get some more news and chatter about where it may go. To me, again, I'm not backing off from what I said last week. I think it's a 2-team race. There's just no way Brady's going to any of these other teams. If the team can't win the Super Bowl in 2020, you're out of it. You're out. And that's why I think it's Titans or Niners all the way.
So it's either stay in New England or go to Titans-Niners, or it's Titans-Niners and he's not going back to New England.
I think New England too. Yes, I'm still giving New England the edge. I still think New England.
So it's a 3-team race.
3-team race. Excuse me. Yes, I'm always including New England, but yes, after that it's the Titans and 49ers. I think it's those 3 teams, and that's all there is to it. And we're going to see how it plays out. And I don't know. Brady plays a part in this. Ryan Tannehill, how much money he's commanding in this, that's going to be part of this conversation. And, of course, the 49ers, which we're clueless about. We don't know how they feel about Jimmy G and the Brady situation altogether, but we all believe that they're interested in Brady.
They got to be at least thinking about it, or we would have heard it all get
Right.
chopped down by now. And they may chop it down at some point this week, and our reaction may be, oh, they were never interested. No, that just means they've come to a conclusion.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.